All right, so this will be our final one, and I'm just going to do a really simple kind of thing here. So I'm going to go and let's make the GUI or the UI first. So I'm just going to go text, and I'm just going to say that, you read the text. I just want the text to say that the sugar gliders originate from Australia, meaning they're marsupials. And I'm just going to make the width larger so it's good enough to do it, and we're going to make it centered, and I'm going to change the color to white. I'm going to change Alt and Shift, make it go to the top, and I'm going to do -50, good, and that looks okay. Let's see if there's something else I want to do with that. And we'll say that's good enough for now. I'm going to grab the canvas and game object. Oh, that's what I want to do. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to change the sky to like a dark blue. Let's see why. So I'm going to grab the canvas, game object, UI, and we're going to do a button. And so I'm going to click on this and make it bottom right. And it's going to be -50 on X and +50 on Y. And then the width and height, so it's 100 by 100. And the text I want to be is, I'm just going to write quiz, because this is the last thing, and this is actually going to be the quiz. All right, good. And I'll have to make that up there. So actually, I might as well just go ahead and I'm going to open up the menu script here. This will be the final level, if you will. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this, Control C, all right, Control V, and this is going to be function load. I'm going to call it load quiz, and it's going to load level quiz, which will be a different thing altogether. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and save that and minimize that, and then I'm going to make a game object, or actually I'll just create empty. Create empty, and I'm just going to call it game controller, and we are going to throw the menu script on that. Then I'm going to add to the button here. I'm going to slide on the game controller and the menu script, and it's going to be load quiz. That's the function that when I click on it, it's going to load that level. Okay, good. So we got the real basics here. Control S, and now what we need to do is actually make what we're going to do. So let's see, assets. So what I need to do is this. I'm going to go to my sprites, and I actually didn't do the sprites quite right, because if you look, I have this this world here, which I could drop in here, but I actually need to make it, so I made this, but I actually need to make it ×3, and you'll see in a second why. So I'm actually going to take this and delete it. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to bring it into Photoshop and make it 3 worlds in a row, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I fixed that. I'm going to drop that in here. Okay, and that's right there. And I'm also going to grab this world map. I'm going to drop that in there as well. Okay, make this big. And so basically I have my 2 things there. I'm going to go ahead and drop this up here and make sure it's at 0, 0, 0. That all looks good, and I am relatively happy with that. I'm also going to take the world mat and drop that up there. I'll make sure this is 1, so to make sure it's above the other one, this one will be 0. And I'm going to take the world, and we're going to scale it down. Let's try 0.75. That seems good, 0.75. Okay. Just to see, let's go to scene here. F to frame, and let's see how much space I have on the top and bottom. Looks like that's pretty much the max. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide this across, and it's going to look like the world's spinning, because I have this mask over it, basically. That's the idea. Okay, so make sure this fills the entire, good, it does. All right, so that's what we're going to do. But in order to make that happen, I need to basically make a kind of a similar script that we made before. So I'm going to go to scripts, and I make a new script. So create JavaScript, and it's going to be called move world script. And I'm going to give it a second, and then I'll double click on it. Hopefully it opens up, and didn't open up. Let's try it again. There it goes. Okay. So, For this one, I'm going to need basically, I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did with that other script where I'm going to do an on mouse down and a function that's going to go across to let me drag it, just like we did when we did the puzzle one. Okay, so I'm going to need a variable for distance, and that's going to be a vector3. Oops, make sure I put a semicolon. I'm going to need a variable that's going to be the position of x. Okay, and that's going to be a float. All right, and then we'll do a variable that's position y. That's also going to be a float. And then we'll do a variable. This one's a little bit different. It's going to be position end. Okay, and we'll explain what that is in a bit. So it's going to be a Boolean, and we're going to set that equal to false initially. Okay, so my function start I do not need. We can get rid of that. My update I will, but in a moment I'm going to show you what that is in a second. All right, so we're going to do a function on mouse down. Okay, and this is going to be the one that's going to allow us to select it. Okay, so and it's going to be camera dot main dot world to screen point transform dot position. All right, and then we're going to say POS X. It's the only one I actually really care about. I'm going to make it input dot mouse position dot X minus the dist of dist dot X. Okay, there goes that. So that's going to be on the mouse down. Then we got to do the on mouse drag. So function on mouse, mouse drag. Empty parameters. All right, and so variable current position, current post. That's what that's standing for. New vector3, and it's going to be input dot mouse position dot x minus POS x. Oh, oops, thought I hit space. Then input dot mouse position dot y minus POS y. That's the only reason why I needed that. And then the dist dot z for the depth, which again I don't care about because this is a 2D thing. Then variable world position. All right, so world POS, and that's going to be camera dot main dot screen to world point. Oops, point. And that's going to be current POS. Okay, and then we're going to say transform dot position dot x to the world POS dot x. I'm not doing y because I don't want to move it up and down. I just want it to move left and right. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Go back here, look for errors. Looks like it didn't happen. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it to the world here. So where is that one? The move world script, and I'm going to apply it right on there. I'm going to hit play, and you're going to see it should let me click and drag it, and it's not. I think because I need to add a physics 2D box collider. Now let's do it. Yeah, without the collider, there's nothing to collide with to select it. Now what this is going to do is it just lets me click and drag it. But you see there's an end to it, right? So that doesn't entirely work. I got to fix that. So what I need to do is say that once it's past a certain position, once this gets to a certain area, that it's automatically going to reset it at the beginning. And that's why I need it to be 3 times the size, because I need to be able to go all the way across and have it be able to reset back to here. Because if it only was 1, it would cut off and there wouldn't be another thing to go to. And I need to have it set up so I can go both directions depending on which way that they spin. I mean, I could make it so they can only turn one way, but I'm just going to have it do both. Okay. So I'm going to bring up that script again. All right, and we are going to fix that using the update. So the update is going to keep track of if it is in fact, if it's past the position that I want it to be. So I'm going to say if transform dot position dot x is greater than, so here I wrote I need to know what the amount is, the position that's how far it's got to be greater than in order for it to be too far. So what that means is I need to find out, so this is all zeroed out, so whatever this looks like, so it looks like we're right here, so I got to figure out where that is. So right, let me see, undo. So it looks like, I'm going to say I'm right on the corner of that, so it's right when we get back to that again. So right, we'll say here. So I'm just going to take that number and Control C, because it's roughly where I was, and I'm going to zero this back out. Okay, and it didn't look like it moved, so that looks like that was right then. So if it's greater than Control V. Oh, really? Let's do edit, redo. Really? Oh, I didn't even look at what the number was because I just assumed that would be fine. Okay, so it's like 14.43, we'll say. So 14.43. If it's greater than that, it's going to tab transform dot position dot x. It's going to set it back to 0. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to take this, Control C, enter, Control V, put this back, and we're going to say if it's less than negative 14 point, because obviously it'd be the opposite direction, then it's going to do that as well. Control S. And then what I want it to do is, yeah, so we're going to say that. I'll save that, come back here, and hopefully it doesn't have any errors. Come on. And now if I take it and I click and drag, it's just going to look like it's actually resetting. Once I get to a certain area, it goes back to 0. But as far as we're concerned, it looks like it's just spinning. And that's basically what I wanted. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this world map. I'm going to change the color here. Because it's white, I can actually tint it. And so I'm going to tint it to like a darker blue color here. And there you go. And so basically, oh, actually, anytime you do an adjustment and you do it well in gameplay, it doesn't hold. So I got to actually fix that. I'll do it now. Okay, so, and we'll make it just like a really dark blue. And voila. And so now when I hit play, and I click and drag this across, you can see, yay, all right? And then this will be the button that goes to the next scene. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and I am going to Control-Shift-S to make a new scene. Actually, sorry, we'll save this, Control-S, I already did that, then File, New Scene. And I'm gonna do Control-Shift-S, and I'm gonna put this in the scenes, and we're gonna call this one Quiz, all right? And this will be my quiz scene. And we will start this next one, and basically it's just gonna be a quiz. It's just gonna ask the same questions and see if you get it right. Okay.